that means that it divides in evenly. Would you agree with me? So if I say 5 is a factor of 10, that means I can do 10 divided by 5 and have no remainder. Right? Yes, we're right there. Yep. So that is the principle that we're going to use to approach factoring and sketching this guy. And we're going to learn a new skill, at least I think it's new. Did you guys learn synthetic division last year? Mm-hmm. Oh, good, good. We're going to use synthetic division to help us decide. So, here's what I want you to do. Abby, I want you to pick a number. Keep it less than 10. Any number you want, positive or negative. 7. Abby says 7. So here's what we're going to do. She just guessed the number. I'm going to do synthetic division with her 7. So remember how we put our number we're dividing by out here in the box. And then I'm going to write down all my coefficients. So 1, 2, negative 5, negative 6. Right? And then I'm going to draw a line, leaving some space in here. And I'm going to drop this first number. Now it happens to be a 1. It could be anything. I'm going to drop it straight down. Okay? And then I'm going to multiply 7 times 1 and put the answer here. And then you remember what you do? What do you do with these guys? Add them. It's an add. Yep. So then we multiply 7 times 9 and we get 63. Oh my, this is getting kind of big. Let's see, is that 58? Right, add those. And what's 7 times 58? 406. So that makes 400 here. How was my arithmetic, guys? Did I do okay? Now, can you tell me what all this means? What does this mean? Remember, the original problem was x cubed. Do you remember what happens when you divide? It goes down 1. So this is going to be x squared plus 9x plus 58. Wait a minute, what's that? That's the remainder. So wait a second. I am trying to find factors. Is 7 a factor? No, because it left a remainder of 400. If it's a factor, what do you want that number to be? A 0. So Abby guessed a number. It didn't work. Okay, so what's Abby going to do? Guess another number. Now if I'm you, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Mrs. Ford, this is fun and easy, but this could take a very long time because there are a lot of numbers to guess, right? So, there's a shortcut. Not to find exactly the numbers, but to narrow the pool down. So the minute Abby picked 7, I knew that wasn't going to work because there's a little trick that tells me which numbers might work. And that little trick is called the possible rational root rule. So on the paper where you noticed yesterday the PRR, that stands for the possible rational roots. Now what are, for this problem, what are the possible rational roots? Well, they're plus or minus 6, 3, 2, and 1 over 1. How in the heck did Mrs. Ford do that? Where did those numbers come from? The last number in your problem, the constant, we call that the constant term, is 6. What are the factors of 6? 6, 3, 2, and 1. So these are the factors of the last number. So whatever the last number is in your problem, whatever that is, your PRRs are all of the factors of that number divided by the factors of the leading coefficient. Well, wait a minute, what's my leading coefficient? 1? and the factors of 1 are 1 and -1. You only need to put the plus or minus once. You don't have to put it on the top and the bottom. Just once is enough. Okay, so Abby, 7 wasn't a guess, right? Because it's not in my list. So let's start over and let's guess a number from our list. Remember, you can do positive or negative. So what do you think? Anybody have a guess? What are you gonna try? We're gonna try something. What'd you say, Willow? 3. Willow wants to try 3. Here we go. Positive 3. Okay. So 1, 2, -5, -6. Remember, we dropped this one straight down. Oh, shooty tooty. I don't think that one's gonna work either, is it? It was a possibility, but it isn't going to work. I wonder if -3 will work. Now guys, there's no, I mean, this is how we do the problem. For those of you that are thinking, crap, I don't want to spend this much time. Sorry, we have to. And when I put in -3, and I'm sorry, I did that kind of fast. When I put in I use -3. Remember, it's plus or minus. So Willow tried 3, and it didn't work. I need a 0 here. So then I said, well, what about -3? So I did my -3, and if I did my arithmetic right, that one did work. Right? So what does that mean? Well, I'll let you catch up a second, and then we'll talk about what that means. When I got a remainder of 0, that meant that that number right there, the number in the box, was a 0, a dot on the graph. That number is a dot on the graph. Okay? Now, if that was the dot, what was the factor? If that was the dot I ended up with, what would be in the parentheses? It's +3. Very, very, very good. Now, what was left after I did the division? I got the 0. What is this stuff that's left right here? What is that? Well, it's x squared minus x minus 2. Does that factor? Yeah, I think you can factor that. How does that factor? X. How does that factor? Plus 1 minus 2. In your order, doesn't matter. That's it. So what does that mean about my picture then? Well, I am going to have a dot at -1, and I'm going to have another x-intercept at 2. Are any of those squared or anything? No. I have a total of x cubed. That's odd. And odd starts where? Bottom. So here we go. Okay. What you just learned, or what we're learning right now, pretty powerful, cool stuff, guys. It's big time math. Good job. Let's look at the next one. Anybody have a question about this before I erase it? Mary?
Is there only gonna be one possible rational,
No, no. I only needed to guess one, but I could have guessed -1 or 2. Those two numbers would have also worked. So anything that ends up in a parentheses could have been my guess. I just happened to guess negative 3 first.
For the 6, 3, 2, and 1, on the bottom you got 1. Is that always 1?
No, we've had problems where that was a 2, or a negative 2, or whatever. So no, that could be, if it's a 1, there's just 1, but if it's a 2, it's 2 and 1, because those are both factors.
Never mind.
All right, let's try the next one. Always eyeball it and see if it looks like you can group it. Because grouping is going to be faster than all this guessing is going to be. Grouping is going to be faster. But I don't think this one groups because of this 11 here kind of messes everything up. Would you agree with me? I'm not gonna group. So that means I'm going to have to guess and divide. I'm going to be guessing and dividing. Now, what am I guessing? Well, my PRRs, here we go. Possible, that's the key word, they're possible rational roots. Factors of that. Oh, what was the same? 6. So 6, 3, 2, and 1. Over factors of this, which is again 1. So you have a total, this is 8 different numbers here, 8 different numbers. You have a total of 8, and you gotta start guessing until you get one that divides and gives you a 0, okay? So what are we gonna guess first? What? 2? Again, I'm doing this really fast, everybody remember, whatever you're guessing, you're putting in the box. Then your coefficients across the top, including negatives if they have negatives. And then bring the first number straight down. So 2 times 1 is 2. Add 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Add, oh my gosh, 2 times 3 is 6. Add and get.
The smiley face.
Yeah, we guessed right off the bat. Our first guess was right. Now, what do we do if our first guess isn't right? We guess again. And we keep guessing until we find one.
When should you switch numbers that you're guessing or just do negatives? Like
Doesn't
negative
matter. You can guess anything you want out of this list, any number. It doesn't matter. So if this didn't work and you wanted negative 2, that would be great. But you could also try 6 or something. It doesn't matter. You're just guessing from that list right there. Okay. Now, what does that mean? That means a couple of things. It means there's going to be an x-intercept at 2. And it means one of your factors is x minus 2. Now there are going to be 2 more factors. This is a cubed problem. I need 3 factors, right? Where are the other 2 going to come from? Well, could you keep guessing? Yes, but that's not a good idea. Not very efficient. What does this say right here? X squared minus 4x plus 3. Because the original was x cubed, and we divided an x out of it, so that leaves us with 1 less. It's always 1 less. So if we start with x of 4, that would be x cubed. Now, does that factor? Okay, I'm gonna go get Mrs. Field. She's gonna come over and beat you all up.
Yes, it
That
does.
factors, yes. How does that factor?
4 and 1. 3 and 1.
3 and 1. X minus 3, x minus 1. That's how that factors. That means you're going to have another dot at 3 and Another data point. So your dots are all real close together. And again, we're an X cubed. So we're gonna start down here. We don't do any bouncing around. So we're just gonna go through our points. And there it is. No, we only have squiggles if we have a cube factor. Your power on the factor is what determines how you act. All right, let's look at it now. You have the factor. We haven't done a division. The factor that's left, but that's not right. Work the next one with us. So here we go. We're on problem C. Work this along with us now. Write down what I'm doing here. Does this factor by grouping? No. Now again, guys, you absolutely can take out an x squared, and you absolutely can take out a -3. But what won't happen? The parentheses won't match, right? And that's what has to happen if you're going to factor by grouping. So, what are our PRRs this time? Factors of 18, I heard 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18, there's a bunch of them. And again, it's all gonna be over 1 because that number is just a 1. So remember, the factors of 18 are any number that goes into 18. So 2, 3, 6, right? Now we pick one from that list, any number you want. And I usually, I'm not saying it wouldn't work, I usually stay away from the big ones. But you can do the big ones if you want, but I usually stay away from them. So somebody said -2, let's give it a shot. Okay, so here we go. -2 times 1. -2 times 2. Uh-oh, I don't think we have a winner, do we? Did I make a mistake? Okay, that's right. All right, Leilani's working ahead, and she said -3 works.
No, we lied.
Oh, we lied?
We
All right.
That's not good.
So let's do +3.
+3 works?
Lies the same.
Oh my gosh, Mary. You're stressing me out.
I don't think so.
Nah.
She's playing.
Let's try -3, maybe that one works. Did you
Oh,
try
I put
this
that
already,
on.
Leilani?
Mary did, but she
Mary did?
No, you didn't.
Oh, I think we got a winner there. I
You
think
was right, bro.
-3 does work.
That's right.
So Mary, check your math.
No.
Certainly, we can make arithmetic mistakes. It's really easy to do that with these problems.
Mary,
But,
math good?
this happens
She tripped
a
out.
lot. Some of us get lucky with our first guess, and some of us have to try a few before we get one. Okay, that's just how it is. But now we've got one. Does everybody understand why -2 didn't work?
Yeah.
3 didn't work, but -3 does? And that means that on my picture, I have an x-intercept at -3. Where are the other 2 dots gonna come from? They're gonna come from this, right? what does that say? What is that? X squared plus X minus 6? And you don't need to guess. You can do this with that factors. How does that factor?
2 and 3.
X plus 3 minus 2?
Is there 2 of the same ones?
Yes, Leilani. Yes. Look, kids, when you guessed and got 0, that told you you had a dot there, which means you have this factor, right? That factor is that dot. But then, when you factor that,
Is it a square?
you got that same parentheses back again, which means that particular factor is squared. And what does that mean in terms of my picture? I'm gonna bounce there. So I have a dot there. And I have a dot at 2. I'm gonna come up and bounce there and go through there. Very good, you guys.
Good job.
Very good. Put
That was
those pieces
great, Lil.
together.
Yeah. I feel really smart today, guys.
Oh. Wow.
That took a downturn. That took a downturn real quick.
All right.
She went to laughing almost died.
Oh my god, it's just
Here we go. One more of these guys. Now I'm not gonna tell you, you're gonna tell me. What's the first thing I wanna figure out?
the purse.
My purse, my PRR. I'm gonna find my PRR.
Let's find out.
And again, PRR stands for possible rational roots. So these are the possibilities. You know you're going to be guessing. You know you're gonna guess. This is gonna tell you what to guess. So what are they gonna be in this problem? Always plus or minus. Always plus or minus. What? 1 and 7. That's it. Wow. That means there's only 4 possibilities, right? Okay, now what?
Let's do -1.
Let's do -1. So Leilani says, let's pick a number from my list. She's picking -1. Are you okay with my arithmetic? I don't think that works, does it? Okay, so do I just give up and go home? No, I pick another one? All right, what do you want to try now?
7.
7?
It's just regular 1.
I think we should do a plus.
Well, I don't think this is gonna work. This is why I don't like big numbers, because the arithmetic, yeah.
One word.
We gotta have a.
I don't think that's gonna work.
No, 1 word.
Are you okay?
One would work?
Actually, yeah,
I think regular.
Regular 1 works.
regular one works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, why do you
We
know-
read it earlier.
Oh, yeah. -1 works. Right? So where do I go from here? Now I know one of my factors is x minus 1. Sometimes we get confused. Remember, if it gave you a 0 it is a dot on the line here, so 1, 0 is a dot. This number is a dot. If that's the dot, then that has to be the factor. Would you agree with me? Okay, now I gotta find the other one, so here we go. Oh shoot, you guys, you let me make a mistake.
That's the wrong
It's all
one.
your fault.
What?
It is all your fault.
Oh, wow, that's the wrong one.
I think we had a winner here. But that's okay, it doesn't matter. But I thought that was strange. We had a winner there. I made a mistake with my arithmetic.
I need it.
But it doesn't
It's
matter.
okay to make mistakes.
We got one here.
Live to fight another day.
So now do we know seventh one too?
X
Yep.
squared
But I'm
minus
gonna go ahead and, factor this. So what's that? X squared minus 8x plus 7? How does that factor? X plus, no, X minus 1 and minus 7?
Yeah.
Get what? This right here? Right here, from the division.
2,
X squared minus 8x
4,
plus 7.
5, 6.
So Eli says, it looks like I got 2 of those and 1 of those, so I'm gonna put my 7 out here. And because I have 2 of those, I'm going to have to bounce in my picture. And it's gonna look like that. Now, I'm never happy I made a mistake, especially when it's on video, but it kind of works out this time because it doesn't matter which number you pick to get 0. We ultimately picked 1 and factored what was left and came up with this. But if I would have had the correct one here, then that would mean I had an x minus 7. And then this is x squared minus 2x plus 1, which is x minus 1, x minus 1. So would I have ended up at the same result? Yes. So everybody's gonna be picking different numbers and but ending up with the same answer. Okay? All right. 2.4 is gonna be due on Tuesday, but I wanna start a little bit here at 2.5 because this is just review practice for synthetic division.
Oh, you want to do those?
Okay? So, synthetic division practice. Couple of technicalities that we haven't run into. Okay? Now, we're not graphing, we're not doing anything, we are simply doing the division problem. Okay? Doing the division problem. So what am I going to put out here in my box?
2.
Positive 2. Then what do we know about parentheses? What has been our theme always? It's the opposite. It's the opposite. So we're gonna put a 2 here. Now, don't overlook the fact that there's something missing in this problem. Look at this, this is a big long thing, but there's something missing. What's missing in this? X cubed. So when you do synthetic division, you have to put a 0 in there. Do you remember that from last year? If you have a power missing, you must put in the 0. If you had 2 powers missing, you would put in 2 zeros. And then you're gonna divide just like you've been doing. So this time, the 2 is coming straight down. Somebody asked me earlier, does that have to be a 1? No, that could be anything, it's 2 this time. So 2 times 2 is 4. Add. 2 times 4 is 8. Add. 2 times 11 is 22. Add. Please tell me if I've made an arithmetic mistake. I got it? Now I need to write my answer. Okay, this I'm just straight dividing. So what did I end up with? Remember, this first one was x to the fourth. So what is it after I do a division? 2x to the third?
Yes.
Plus 4x to the second, plus 11x, plus 13. Wait a minute,
I see.
what's that, 27?
Remainder.
And when I write my remainder, I say plus 27 over x minus 2. X minus 2 is what I divided by. So that's my remainder. Alright, we're gonna do one more division problem and then we're done. Before I forget, I want to remind you guys that I don't see you Monday. Tuesday's a big day, opening day math league. Don't forget, Tuesday morning, math league. You will report to the Welch Activity Center. That's our assigned gym, okay? So all of you will go there for math league on Tuesday morning. Do not forget. All right, one more. Last one. What goes in the box here? B. We're doing B. -1. For problem 5B, -1 goes in the box. Across the top, do I have any missing powers? Well, wait. I don't go bigger. It's just I start with x cubed and go down. Do I have everything from x cubed down? All right. Yeah, we don't put zeros at the front. Now, here comes the 3 straight down. -3, -10, 10, 19, -19, -18, if I didn't make any mistakes. Anybody match that? Perfect. So then I write my answer, which will be 3x squared minus 10x plus 19, and then minus 18 over x plus 1. You put your remainder over what you divided by. Alrighty, so we're not gonna forget math league on Tuesday morning. Alright, so let's sit down. We're not gonna race out of here like wild animals.